should have seen us in our red carpet looks an hour ago.
Yes. So
we had the like full formal dresses on.
We did. We did just get live, by the way. We are on Jerry Shepherd Author on Facebook. We are on Red Rights Books on Facebook, and we are on the Real Red Rights Books on YouTube right now. So we're just all over the place.
All over
the place.
All over the ours.
And we were just talking about the fact that we had a red carpet hour earlier because we were showing off the trailer. But we have another one coming up. And we have a chaos hour.
Which one is our next red carpet hour?
I think it's from 5 to 6 when we have Tiffany Rose joining us as well. Right. It will be lovely.
Which
but right now
9 o'clock your time, right?
Late.
It's late. So, but yeah, for now, we have some fun. So we have a few people that are joining us in this hour. So Jack, for those who did not get an opportunity to meet Jack last hour on TikTok, I'm gonna let Rebecca give you like the beautiful the introduction
the glowing.
to the glowing reality.
Well, she pulls up your headshot here.
Yeah, we're pulling up the headshot of Jack. There he is, right there, y'all. That's Jack. There he is.
I'm so buff.
You are so buff.
I think I'm
looking for one that actually shows it well, and I'm trying to find one that actually has all of us in the picture.
Do you mind me asking, Jack, do you have any tattoos?
Tattoos are something that I have wanted for such a long time, but just like not even for meaning purposes, not like I had some event where I desperately needed to garb myself in ink. I was like, that looks really hot, I should do that. and I just haven't got settled down and done it yet, but I'm excited. Have you both have tattoos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just made us very, very little on the screen. We are like these little thumbnails down there. I was trying to keep makeup there, but I think we're going to stop the share for that right now. We'll bring him up when it's time to hear about who he is. Yes, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 7.
Ooh. I have 2.
You can see some of them.
You can. All of mine are inappropriate to share places. So yes.
That would be the Irish one. My Irish one is my inappropriate to share place. That's my Scarlet Silver right there,
Oh.
But I do have, I don't know how to tastefully it's on my ankle, so I have one that's not untasteful at all. That I don't know if I can make it in this camera without looking like a complete freak. But there we go. That is the symbol from the broken fault lines right there.
Love it.
You've scandalized half of our viewers.
Oh no, the ankle! Wait,
this
look
is
at
not
the
a
shoulder
period,
too.
This is not a period piece. We're fine.
No, but I have a lot. I have a family one. I have I'm a big football fan, so I have a Chicago Bears one that my father and I got together. The Bears. Oh God, it's hard, but yes, I do love the Bears. Yeah, and what about you?
I have one that's an ambigram, which means you can read it both ways, and it says "beloved." And a lovely little script. And both of mine were designed by my friend Sean. And then I'm going to do some scandal too. But the side of my foot, and this one has not aged well, but it says, "Not all those who wander are lost."
Oh, very sweet.
I'm a nerd.
It's lovely.
Yes. So those
Very
are
nice.
those are mine.
They are fun. I like tattoos. I think it's great that we're in this era that whether it's your hair or your piercings or your tattoos. I mean, I'm just a little older than her. And so honestly, it's very much like that was not okay unless you were straight up straight up punk when I was younger. I mean, and now it's it's however you feel like artistically expressing. And I think tattoos can be so really beautiful, and in the broken fault lines, there's also.
Oh, I wasn't intending to pull that in, but yes, there are.
So they have
the tattoo.
They actually have, there's the tatua, which is the Samoan word for tattoo. Again, a lot of language influence in there, but it's they also have skin dye, that is used, people tattoo it on for sun protection.
Yes, UV protected.
So the people that are out on the city ships and whatnot, they have like dyed skin for the sake of protecting their skin.
That's true.
So very interesting.
I brought it up because I think we should, if the rest of the series gets picked up by Sound Booth, have Jack get
the Mick tattoo. The Celtic knot.
I mean, I'll do it.
Okay, so
this needs to be a campaign. We'll like Kickstarter. Like Jack will get these two tattoos if
I'll text Justin.
Okay, so here's the thing. I do not want to. We're gonna save some Mick. Oh my goodness, we have another friend here with us here. So we're gonna throw you on the stage here for a quick. Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
Welcome. You are just in time. Jeff was actually one of my biggest supporters during the writing process. He was a beta reader. And like at the time I was like part-time working in my sister's office just to kind of like help her out. And I'm like, that's fine. I can do this while I'm writing the book and stuff. And Jeff would come by the desk like every day. He's like, oh shit, I just got a new oh shit moment. And he would tell me like the latest thing he read. And it was so fun. So
how did we find out that we liked the love for sci-fi books?
I'm pretty sure it was like the very first time we ever spoke in the kitchen at the office.
That's right.
I think you had a Battlestar Galactica mug.
Oh no, it was it's from The Office. It was an Office reference. Bears
Battlestar Galactica.
Yes. And being a complete nerd who actually likes Battlestar Galactica more than The Office, I was like, oh, Battlestar Galactica, let's talk.
Yeah.
Then I accidentally found out that you were an actual sci-fi nerd.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, very cool, very cool.
Have I got a book for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I didn't even know she wasn't. So, like, you're like, because you wrote other types of books for other people, and you're like, well, my real love is sci-fi. I'm like, no shit.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I was like, I'm looking for people to read this. He's like, yes, sign me up. So get this, Jeff, you are actually on with Jack, who is the voice for Mick on this.
Dang, really? That's a big role.
Yes,
that's a big role, Jack.
Right?
Dang.
I would say Mick is probably. We told you this was the Linda hour, but it may not be all Linda because we had some technical difficulties last hour. So we're doing some voices, but we're gonna put like these folks to work here a little bit. So. I'm going to show a picture.
Because we didn't do that already, right, Jack?
And so, Jeff, what is like some of your what's like maybe your favorite scene by any character in the book? Like, kind of get it like a general. What was something that you really loved from the book? Whether it's a Linda scene or a Mick scene, where honestly. Actually, Jack did all of the male characters.
Is what he's going to say.
Oh my God. I don't know if we can do
which one?
Chapter 30. You know Chapter 30.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like Jerry wrote that? No
That
way.
was a little bit hard because I was like at the office and I was like, see what you did there.
I was like, Jerry, come on, really? What?
And he came up and I think you were actually blushing a little. You're like,
100%.
Did you write that?
Mm-hmm.
No, we're not going to do Chapter 30 on Facebook. We might save that for TikTok.
Yeah. Chapter 30 is that's TikTok. Yeah.
But
Facebook's PG-13.
Jack did the characters, everybody except for Wang Wei and Inoke. And then Rebecca did all of the female characters. So what was something that you really enjoyed in the story? And we can maybe like get a little sampling from our amazing audio team here.
Wait, Chapter 30, was that the one with the ballroom? Were they in the ballroom together?
Chapter 30 is on the bow of the ship.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But which chapter was the one where the ballroom where they kind of lock eyes and stuff and across the way?
That's sweet. That's probably like Chapter 28.
That's right. Okay. That was a big moment. I mean, okay, so I liked really the first chapter that like to introduce like because okay, so she's like a super relatable character, right? Like she kind of fell into it basically, right? And she kind of earned like being the leader, and that's what I mean. It was like yeah, going from abusive life to really freaking creating Miriam's world and how they do things.
Very cool, very cool. So like I'm gonna find then like so like a little bit further down the line. So like let's hear a little bit of like and if you guys just want to like can you like are you able to like
Oh my gosh, just
just be the
talk as the
characters?
characters?
Just talk as the characters? Do you think you
Yeah, I mean, I have the script in front of me as well, so we can do
that's even
just
better.
to showcase your wonderful writing, Jerry. But whatever you wish.
Thank you so much. What about let's hear a Linda and Uru scene then, because you're kind of talking about Linda and Uru. So how about after Linda finds Uru out in the world, maybe that's something that that we can take a look at as well here. So while I'm pulling that up, I'll let you kind of like take over the conversation.
We'll take over the conversation. Well, I actually would like to talk to, while we have him here, Jack, a little bit about coming in on the process and how that was for you, how you felt about it, and what your experience was getting some of these, creating some of the character voices.
Acclimatization to anything is always easier when there is some introductory element that is already part of it. In other words, if things had been different and someone had been less passionate onboarding me to the project, I wouldn't have had the same verve, the same drive to approach the characters with the severity, the intensity that they required. So when Rebecca gets on a call with me and she's like, absolutely, like Avatar: The Last Airbender element, fire all the way, burning passion for it. Like, I'm really excited about this series. I'm excited to have you on board. Here's a breakdown of some characters. God, an unbelievably helpful presence as well in terms of realizing the characters. So how was it for me? Elegant and easy, but that's because you made it so, Rebecca. And then it was just about encountering the characters on my own terms when I had that foundation laid for me by you.
Oh, I love that. That's
and
you ladies get to listen to him this whole time.
Yeah, right.
Like, all right, I'm gonna stick around.
No, just let him talk. He can just talk. Fine, we're good.
Nailing it, dude.
Nice to meet you too, sir.
And I had shared when we were on TikTok about some of our back and forth about the accent. So for those who are joining here who weren't on TikTok, Jack is Irish, and the influences in this book are largely the Isles and Irish influences. So to have a native speaker and someone that I can like honestly just back and forth about, and the level of accent and things was really fun. I don't know that I will ever get over the giggles, the ticker. I just thought that was adorable and I loved it. You knew exactly what I meant just in that exchange, which to me was the best part of it. The kernel of that being like how clear and easy it was to communicate what we were going for and have it be understood and grasped and run with and done so well.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. So for your sake, Jack, we are at the beginning of chapter 15. And this is where, for the story, without giving too much away, this is when the two people of the past timeline find each other for the first time. So with a little sampling live to us here, we've got Rebecca as Linda, and we've got Jack as Uru. Then we also are going to definitely need to hear a little bit of Kate and Mick together too.
Oh, yes.
But I'll let you take over.
Chapter 15. Year 2552. Former Baja Province. Former Northern Territory of New Hispaniola Land Nation. Former Global Union.
Are you okay?
Linda jumped so quickly to her feet and away from the voice that the sudden movement didn't even feel human. She'd have thought she was fully mechanical if her heart wasn't in her throat. Her crying stopped as abruptly as if she were a satellite program that somebody had directed to pause. Okay, see, how do you not fall in love with this? Like right there. What is that? That is writing. Okay, sorry. Continuing. Words eluded her while she studied the man who had approached her.
I'm not here to hurt you.
He spoke gently, and he held up both hands in submission as he stepped backward from her to reduce the threat he imposed. Linda's eyes involuntarily darted to her cart.
I don't need your things either. I heard you were crying.
Who are you? She managed. How are you here? What are you doing here?
Same questions.
He retorted, while attempting a friendly smile. She didn't return it. The man's complexion was a dark olive tone, though some of his color looked like it came from time in the sun. His unkempt hair was black as licorice and stick straight. He was thin and his skin was wrinkled, but he didn't look old. He had the appearance of somebody who had gone through an illness and lost weight too quickly. Linda said nothing to him.
I'll start then.
He said,
I'm Uru. I I guess I still live here.
He said, indicating the tallest building in the midst of a mostly fallen cluster behind him. Did you miss the transport? Linda asked. After a pause, Uru replied.
Something like that. You?
Something like that, she answered cautiously. Where is here?
New Hollywood.
Uru said. Linda did not want to take her eyes off of the man, but she did raise them to the shattered skyline behind him. Even though it was just a chopper ride away, she'd only ever seen the city on satellite programs, and it was held up as the height of luxury. As she scanned behind Uru, she began to truly visualize the buildings for the first time as something other than some random distant destination. She started putting them back together in her head, cleaning them, straightening them, surrounding them with people, and recognizing them for what they once were. How far do we want to go?
Oh, I'm sorry. I could literally just keep listening to you guys
She's right
forever.
over here
I was
like,
like, I'm good. We're just doing the audiobook right now. So no, thank you guys for sharing a little bit of that. So what was interesting, the reason like this scene with Linda and Uru. So I happen to know that like Jeff has a secret crush on Linda. Like, and it's so funny because like I said, I was working in my sister's real estate office at the time. And the woman who actually played Linda in the movie trailer, Jeff is like in the office one day and she came in because she was closing on our house with one of the real estate agents there. And he's like, Jerry, why is Linda here? It was so crazy, but no, so I'm curious, just to, as like, not, Linda's not somebody like super relatable to you in terms of like demographics. So like, what about her like stood out to you? And by the way, I'm going to put Linda's picture up here for us to see. That is our Linda dear, because we've learned that when we shared just the screen, it made us all into like thumbnails. So I'm just showing the pictures when they come. So what do you love about Linda, and what do you look forward to seeing from Linda, or I should say hearing from Linda in the audiobook?
Gosh, all the hard questions, man. Well, okay, so okay, I'll relate it to my. This is where like I could kind of relate to Linda is like with like real estate. I don't know if you can see Gavin, turn around, wave.
Hi, Gavin.
No. So as the real estate team is, yeah. So like I had these guys join the team and was kind of thrown into the leadership role, and that's kind of like what Linda did, right? So I think that's where I could relate to Linda. But what do I look for? I mean, I don't know. Like whatever you write is great. So it's like surprise me. That's what I want to know.
I think she does that well, though. I think that's
She
one
does.
of the reasons I like this, but I have been reading my entire life. I have this habit of being able to forecast and foreshadow things before the books I'm reading or the movies I'm watching, or things like plot, got it, know where this is going, know who's who. And there is a lot here in reading through this that maybe I had an idea where things were going, but I don't feel like I ever felt like I knew in advance. It wasn't like, oh yeah, this is how this is going to happen. It was one that I felt like I could travel and journey along with the characters, which is rare for me. Mm-hmm. And that is something that I really appreciated.
I love that. So, Jeff, I know this was supposed to be our Linda hour, and it ended up being our kind of character voice hour. Is there a specific character that you would like to hear one of these folks do? Again, anybody except for Inoke or Wang Wei, yep. You can hear.
No, Mick for
all right,
sure.
All right. So
gotta be Mick. We got Jack on here. I want to hear Mick.
So, okay. So Jack, how about let's go to chapter 22. And I do think that depending on what version you have, it may be a different page number than what Becca's script has here. But on hers, it is page. Oh, good Lord. I cannot read that. What page does that say?
226.
226.
So you just give me the line of dialogue and I'll just search it in the document.
Oh, good. You've got it that way. So
and then Rebecca, you narrate Linda and
narration of all the females. Yep.
The line is still working on those sea legs.
Yes. Okay. Got it.
So this is actually a little bit of a scene between Miriam and Mick then.
Okay. So just dive right in.
Go for it.
Okay. Still working on those sea legs,
he said under his breath as they awaited the completion of the song. I swear to you, it's not the wine. I nursed a single glass all night, she returned in equally low tones.
Whatever you say,
he jabbed. At the appropriate time, the two leaders made their way out of the Unity dinner with polite handshakes and waves. Miriam kept her mouth in a pressed lip, forced smile to hold back the vomit she felt churning up from somewhere deep in the pit of her body. Within steps of the view of his government officials, Miriam removed her tall wedges and Mick undid his top shirt buttons. I think I might be able to use one of those anti-nausea patches now, said the governor, putting one hand to her stomach and the other to the wall in the corridor for balance.
It takes practice to dine like a sailor,
he joked back, taking the governor's shoes for her and putting his hand on her lower back for support. Miriam began to laugh, but the rocking overtook her, and she had to pause in the middle of the long hallway.
You gonna make it?
Mick asked, concerned. Will we have rough waters tonight? She asked while she steadied herself. I really do think I should lay down.
Unfortunately, yes. Let's get you back,
said the captain in a gentlemanly manner. Moving again. I think I'll be just fine if I can stop the rolling for a bit.
That, and maybe just let it happen. A good puking always steadies the land flies.
A fly? That's what I am?
Both of us. Not that I'm comparing you to an insect. It's more about whether you're accustomed to land or sea. Sometimes I feel like I have to puke when I first step off the ship.
Oh, Mick, please stop saying puke. I beg you.
I like begging.
Oh, okay. We better stop.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, I'm so psyched. So Jeff, you missed a little bit of Kate earlier, so we did get to hear some of the Irish already from Rebecca. But yeah, so this was, like I said, this was going to be the Linda hour, but it ended up being like the Linda and Uru, which is the great couple of the 2500s, and the Mick and Miriam, which is the kind of the potential couple, like the slow burn of the 2900s.
Yes, a slow burn that is so worth it.
So, but yeah, Jeff, I would love for you to share a little bit before because I know you're coming to us from your office. one of the other things that you did is you were a beta reader. So you helped to create things once it was read and to determine what things like needed to change. And what were some of the things that you lit on when you did the beta reading that then you were happy to see like get developed more when the final product came out?
I think it was like there was a transition on how they got to the trash island.
Ooh, the Great Necros. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, where it was like it was like you were very receptive. By the way, you're really good at that. Like you're okay with taking constructive criticism, which is awesome. But then you added, I think, a whole new chapter and like how they got, you know what I mean? Which was really cool. I was like, oh, okay, sweet. Dang, yeah.
I actually completely forgot. Not that I didn't like appreciate it in the moment. And of course you're in the acknowledgments and everything, but it's like, I had forgotten that chapter didn't exist in the first draft. So, and there was a lot of fun to be had at the Necroslams. So you guys got to enjoy that. Very cool.
Yep. And you had a lot of oh shit moments. Man, I wonder if I still have my notes. Oh, you know what? No, it's at home. So when I started the new one, I put them in the Google Doc, or did I have that? No, because I wrote them down when we went out for lunch. Remember,
we did.
Was all on paper. Damn. Yeah, or else I'd take a look at the notes so we could do that live. But
no, I'd have to look back through my notes too. Like maybe I have some of them too. I don't remember. It's like I definitely have notes somewhere, but there was a lot. You were definitely really intense. I think it helped because as a beta reader, you were also a fan and you were a sci-fi guy. And most of my beta readers were not actually like sci-fi people.
I was excited when you asked. That's like something I was like, what? I'm like, okay, cool. That's like a once in a lifetime thing. You don't get that very often, huh?
Well, Jeff, I got to tell you, so thank you for joining us. I don't want to keep you, but same thing. I'm reminding everybody. And so spread the word around the office there. Everybody who buys the audiobook today at soundbooththeater.com, all they have to do is comment on any one of the lives where we are in the comment section, and they are in a drawing to get to name a character in the last book. So that's the cool contest. But thanks for being my beta reader and my big supporter of this and a big supporter of Linda and for joining us.
Yes,
and
thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to let you get back to your world and thank you again for being here. And it's awesome.
I'm next time you have it for like the movie release. Okay. Have me back on. Okay.
Yeah, we're there. We're there.
I love it.
I mean, already you missed it. You know, like Jack is getting the tattoo.
Nice.
He's got the Mick workout regimen going on.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic. So.
Love it. Good.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Nice to meet you, man.
So yeah,
so fun.
Super fun. Oh my gosh, thank you guys for giving me those little samples. I just want to. I'm like I cannot wait to like
I
drive
told
home
you were
just
gonna
to
love
listen.
Mick. I
to all
told
the
you
things,
you were gonna love Mick.
Have you not heard the voices yet?
No.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I have.
So I wanna-
some of them I have.
All right.
Okay,
So
okay.
I want to dispel some of this because of the fact that I have like great respect for Sound Booth Theater.
Mhm.
So here's the thing, like earlier we were telling the story when we were on one of our earlier lives about how Becca and I first met.
Mm-hmm.
And literally it was the first time that this was being read publicly. And I had like a 5-minute slot and I handed her this book and I was like, do you want to do it? And that's how we met.
Yep.
And she did it. She did a scene between Miriam and Kate that
Mhm.
comes later in the book.
Mhm.
And I was like, you're doing the audiobook.
Yeah.
And so essentially that there was that. And then Ben Wolf and I, good friends, and he recommended Sound Booth. And if because of the respect that I had for Ben, I had quality, I had respect for Sound Booth. And because of already having heard in just that short moment, I had respect for Rebecca. And I began my writing career in playwriting. And so I'm used to just like taking something and then you hand it over to a director and say, you do your thing. And so I knew that whatever would happen with this, when it became an audiobook, it wouldn't be what was in my head, but it would be something elevated and something that was 10x'd as a result of working with people who are professionals on the sound booth side or on the audio narration side. And honestly, I know, confession, y'all, like I haven't heard it. I have not heard this book yet. And so I'm actually really freaking psyched to hear this book. There were, now to be clear, there were many communications between Rebecca and I. So like there was a character chart that we put together. There was pronunciation.
And I think I shared a lot of this with Jack and in the team. So he's seen the whole character Bible. And
so it's not like I was just like, here, good luck, you know. But I did. Yeah. But I did let go. It was a lot of trust to just say, but I did have faith because of her talent and because of knowing who Sound Booth was, and I didn't know you, but what a joy to have you on some of these characters. Can I ask you to do one more character for me? It would really thrill me. You know who I want.
I know who you want.
Roberto.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roberto Francisco.
Hear some of the Roberto Francisco scene. So for those watching us, this is Roberto. That is who he is. And there is a scene. Oh shoot. If you do a search for the word mirror.
Yeah.
That should get you. If you search for the word mirror, and then you can tell us where it is in the script, so I can turn to it for Rebecca.
Okay. There's 16 uses of the word mirror.
Okay. There should be one that has also something with the word pine cone near it.
Well, maybe I'll look at the word.
Okay, this is how I know my story. I'm like mirror and pine cone.
Mirror and pine
I can
cone.
actually, let me shrink this up, and I can actually probably find it here.
Page 201. The big brother in eternal mourning removed his dark gray suit.
Yes, that's the scene. That's the scene.
You go, Jack.
So for you,
Gotcha.
it's 201.
Okay.
Is that so we might have to find it here. So what chapter is that?
That is, let me see now. That is chapter 22. It's right at the end.
Okay. The end of chapter 22. I have been so curious about this scene. So this is just like, it's purely for my own pleasure. But hopefully those of you who are joining us live are going to get some great pleasure out of this as well. Just a couple of reminders. We are coming to you live all flipping day long. I think after this, we're on Rebecca's Instagram next. That's going to be at the top of the hour that we're going to be on Rebecca's Instagram. And what we are doing is we're just like celebrating the release of this audiobook that Rebecca Brokaw Sands and Sound Booth Theater have brought to us. And all throughout this day, if you buy it, you have an opportunity to be in a drawing to name a character in the last book that releases at the end of this year. You just have to send us a little snapshot in any one of these lives showing us that you bought it. And if you sign up at Red Writes Books, that's redthecolorwritesbooks.com. For my newsletter, you will also get the ebook for free. So do you have the line that you think is a good line to start on, Rebecca?
And so this is my question. The line that Jack gave us it's all narration after that.
Oh, is it?
So
oh gosh, and I thought that was so do we want to go earlier to like when he's in the conversation? Ooh, are we giving away too much though?
I don't think so.
I'm just curious how you do with Roberto, because he's pretty he's a very different character from the other characters. So could start with that one.
Calm down, Vera. This is
calm down, calm down.
Gosh,
Vera.
I have to remember Vera.
She's kind of a minor
right
dock worker who works with Harry.
Yes.
There you go. Look at that. So we'll let you guys do that. But I kind of do want to hear a little bit of the madness afterward. Is that okay?
The madness?
The toward the end of the scene.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's do some of that. Let's
I can totally read that. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I scooched so you can be in it.
Okay, here we go. Roberto Francisco, okay. Calm down, Vera. This is an open line.
Deputy Governor Roberto Francisco screamed at his digifile as Vera continued to babble.
Shut up! Shut up!
He exclaimed.
You are in this now. There is no turning back. I'll take care of the rest.
He said, before slamming his fingers onto the digifile to end the communication. Roberto stood up and began to pace the room, occasionally rubbing his face or wringing his hands. He only had a 15-minute window in which security would be cleared out. He used his handicap to advantage, requesting certain times of the day when he did not have to be under watch. He claimed modesty and declared a need to get changed out of his day clothes with no guards or cameras in his home or on his body. Nobody dared question him. Finally, Francisco heard the distinct, high-pitched sound of a whistler. He moved to the window and spotted the passengers as they stepped off the zip chopper and made straight away for his side entrance.
Privacy blinds.
He commanded the room, and mechanical shutters snapped down over every window of the room.
I didn't ask you to kill him,
Roberto said in a whisper shout when he opened the door and quickly pulled Li Fang inside by his jacket. Fang put his hand on Francisco's wrist and, with threatening calm, removed the arm from his body. Oh, this one is
gonna have some Li Fang lines and some George. And
Yeah.
Oh wow, I threw a whole bunch of characters at you without even knowing it.
Oh, what did I do for Li Fang again?
It's so funny. So Li Fang is the 2900s leader of the Wang family fleet.
Yes. I can't remember what I did for him. I can pull up the audio. Here, I'll just do a voice.
How fun.
You said he couldn't be around when you activated tsunamic defense.
The family patriarch said.
I can promise you now that he won't be around. Don't tell me how to do my job.
Pulling the door shut behind the rest of the Wang family members.
This was supposed to be discreet.
Roberto exclaimed.
If you want the rest of the money, you'd better make sure that if
Fang cut Francisco off.
we will get the rest of the money,
He said, with one of his sharpened fingernails at the deputy governor's jugular.
just do the job.
Said Francisco. Should we cut it there?
Oh, we can totally cut it there. Okay, so I have to say, like, as somebody who's not, so I've spent time in theater. We've talked about the fact that we've got this theater background. But here you are, you're just doing this voice, and I'm loving watching both of you like transition into these characters as you're just like reading their voices, and it's really cool. It's very cool.
I think I think it is part of voice acting that a lot of people don't take into consideration. But even with vocal training, you find out that like facial expression affects it, posture affects it, gesturing affects it. You really do get more. The more you get into the character, the more real the character is, and it shows up in your voice. Think about when you're talking to someone on the phone, and you can tell if their facial expression is the same as the tone that they're trying to come off as.
Sure. They always
Like,
say
you
smile
know. Yes.
when you're on the phone because you can hear a smile,
Yes.
and
So
yeah.
all of that comes into play in voice acting, and not everybody thinks about that. But I think the more you do it, the more you're just like, no, I am acting. It's just the only thing being recorded is my voice.
That's incredibly articulately and succinctly put. It's like I recall, maybe it was when I was doing these intense scenes with Roberto, or maybe it was even when I was trying to be more intense, because Mick does some really hardcore stuff in this book, and he gets very incensed, and there's times when he's really at extremity. And in order to do that, you've got to be, as Rebecca said, yes, tensed up or broad, and you have to bring that energy to it. And actually, sometimes we can even, I did notice that once or twice, you can even go a little too far, and you have to go, okay, I have to pull it back, because it is about a vocal performance, what can be heard, what can be discerned, and if it's too much in the body. So it's a balance, and you go through it. But sorry, I didn't. Rebecca spoke about that much more eloquently.
This is the stuff that it's really exciting to hear, and I love that, and I think it just shows me, the beautiful what the final product is going to be is just really going to be special, and just to hear like all the different voices. I mean, the two of you, and I love Ryan, I love Jeff, obviously. Yes. Wonderful future actors to bring to the story. But you guys had, like we talked earlier, It is not a small cast.
Small book.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a Game of Thrones type of cast, and so that's a lot to balance. And I sit here and I think of, like, in that scene, I wasn't even thinking about the fact that also Lee is in there, George is in there, you know, there's a couple of others in there, and I was like, oh yeah, you actually had like 4 voices in that scene. Just one little scene. It's a few pages long, and you had so many different voices to juggle in there. So
that's fun, though, is when you get to do so many different, like Rebecca, back me up here, when you get that many character voices to juggle, making them distinct is a treat.
Yes. Yeah. No,
That's
it's
so
part
neat.
of the challenge, which if you enjoy the challenge, I don't know if you can really actually be in a creative or in our profession and not enjoy the challenge.
Yeah.
But that's the part of it that it is the treat. You do enjoy the challenge of, like, okay, how am I going to differentiate? And what is what is the difference between Linda and Miriam? And technically they're related, but how, you know, it's position, it's timing, it's all of this that affects these things. Very much so.
Very cool. Very cool. But yeah, I think I won't like put you guys to the torture test anymore on any additional readings today. But I don't know about you guys, but like those of you who are joining us, like those samples that we have, oh my gosh, you guys, I'm psyched. It is going to be amazing. It's so good.
I'm waiting for Jacob right now to reset my account, because when they switched over the apps, everything got reset. So I used to have access to be able to listen to things without having to pay for it. And now they're like, you need to pay for this. And I'm like, no, you paid me for this, guys. I'm waiting.
It's not seeing you as a team member. It's seeing you as just like a user of the app.
Jacob, so I can like play little excerpts and teasers for people. So I'm waiting for that right now, but I think that'll be really fun.
But yeah, so Jack, what brought you to Sound Booth? What brought you to voice acting?
I'll be super brief. I was a writer in the lit RPG scene. Had my own stuff there, and then I met through conventions. I met Justin. And Justin and I, at the end of the first night that we'd met each other, had started reading poems to one another.
Yes!
So there was a huge group of people, and there were like 30 people having drinks. And I was like, do you want to hear my favorite poem? And he was like, I was going to ask if you want to hear my favorite poem. And then Neil Helliger's over in the corner was like, do you guys want some Shakespeare? And I was like, in a moment, Neil, we love you. In a moment, yes. So Justin and I started sending each other over TikTok in a weird series called Broetry. Dreadful, but
I saw that, but I didn't realize it was you, because I was only getting his sides of it. Oh my gosh.
We stopped doing it because we ran out of, like, it's hard to run out of poems, but like we ran out of like the ability, because when you read enough poems, it can be quite impactful. So Justin was like, I think I read a sad poem yesterday, and I'm like, yeah, no, we're done for now. Like, yeah. So then Justin knew that I had been a theatrical performer. I've been on stage for a lot of my life. And before I got into writing at all, I was an actor. And Justin knew that I had a really good setup. I got very fortunate through the context that I have that my setup is as sophisticated as it is. If I had been in charge of it, it wouldn't be. But because I had good contacts, they were like, exactly, here's the best stuff here to make your instrument sound like an orchestra, etc., etc. So then Justin was like, hey, you know, you've got a few projects under your belt. Rebecca's working on this really good book. Do you want to kind of... And I was like, who's Rebecca? What's the book? And he explained it, and I was like, yes, nailed it. Yeah. Can I meet Rebecca? I met Rebecca, and I was like, yeah, no, yeah, doing it.
I'm so glad that Justin helped to make the connection to bring you in too.
Yeah, Justin he's a social butterfly in the best way. But yes, so working with Sound Booth now, Rebecca as the lead on this project, again, couldn't hope for a better lead. I'm becoming a lead on a project soon, and it's like I'm taking Rebecca's, you know what I mean? I'm using your rubric of what you did. Like,
love that.
Oh, statement of fact, you're fantastic. So And so now I've got a great rubric there. And any other project, including the series as a whole, any other project, I'm behind Rebecca 100%. But Jerry, I wanted to ask you about. Rebecca's probably heard this story 150 times or whatever in front, because people probably ask you this all the time. How did you get into writing?
So it's really strange. I've literally written my entire life.
Yes.
My first writing was when I was like 4 years old, and it was the Roses Are Red poems to like the boy next door.
Yeah.
My first publication was actually in the 4th grade. I was published for a poem about roadkill.
Oh my God. Okay, whoa.
Things I didn't know I needed in my life.
I was published in a state newspaper about roadkill, and I was just an absolute nerd for the word. Like, it was just definitely like,
it's gonna be my next tattoo.
Nerd. I love it. I instead of turning in like book reports, I would write an epic poem to summarize the book and perform it full with costumes.
Oh my
God,
yes.
I was just absolute, and I think I was so much of a nerd that I didn't know I was a nerd. I just I was one of these people who owned it all through throughout my whole childhood. And I was very lucky that when I belonged to a high school that had, even though we had a really great sports, a number of really great sports teams, the high school is very supportive of the arts. And we had a program that was original theater work. So I actually began in playwriting, and I have my oldest daughter who was on with us earlier. She owns a theater. So she's actually putting on one of my plays next year. It's called Of Thread and Thorn, and it's writing. So this is sidebar, sorry, but I love to brag on my oldest daughter. She's amazing. We've always complained that shorter shows are shit. Like, there's so many ones that are really crappy, especially when you're in high school, and all of those, they're terrible. And we're like, why isn't it all just Shakespeare? Because Shakespeare wrote it all. So basically I took and I wrote a contemporary play, and then I changed all of the lines for Shakespeare from across his full works. So it's a Shakespeare shakeup where it might have a Romeo and Juliet line followed by a Julius Caesar line, but the lines make sense together in context of this whole other play.
That's really interesting. As a pastiche, that's genuinely very interesting.
Yeah, so it's been fun, but I've literally always been in the word. I had the opportunity from the time that I was in just a sophomore in high school. I was having full-length plays produced and that's where I began as playwriting. And it's just like you and Rebecca, I was in theater, and so I was writing for the theater, but then I was in the theater, and of course I tried to be an actress, and I moved to Chicago, and I did a really cheesy weekly television show on motorsports, and I did. I was we were basically Vegas showgirls, spokesmodels on these
pictures,
car shows. Crazy. That was the extent of my acting career, but the whole time I was still writing the plays. And I had just kind of told this story earlier that when I had a year that there was this playwright festival that we used to participate in as actors. And I'm like, hey guys, I can't do it this year because I'm submitting plays. And my friend is like, well, do you really want to write the plays, or do you want to be in them? Assuming I'd say be in them. And I was like, well, write them. And that was the end of my acting career. I was oh, actually, yeah, I don't want. So honestly, I'm a genre jumper. I will have hit. So At Fault, when it released as a book, was my 100th book. So I've been all over the map. And when I get bored with something, I move into a different genre. So I'm not bored with sci-fi yet. So I think I'm going to stick around with sci-fi and games for a while yet. So that was a really long way around. I don't have that nice little sweet story but
I really, really like listening to it. It's also 100 books. Goddamn. Pretty impressive.
Now that includes children's books and and there's a lot of nonfiction in there that I did for years too. So
wow. No wonder cultures and stuff comes across in Athol comes across so well rounded because you've written all the things.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Wow. Okay.
So, well, and I'd like to hope that, like, I love world travel. I've been all over the place. I've certainly been all over the country, but then I've been to several, like, south of the border nations. I've been to Scotland and Ireland and England, and like I've been to enough places that I'm like, I hope that I infuse culture a little bit. And how does culture when you're voicing something? How does that play in? Like, do you find that like different cultures play into the way that you say different words and whatnot?
Rebecca, you jump on this first.
Throw you under the bus.
I'm so sorry. I believe in you.
No, it's good. No, it does. I think so. Some of it is accent, knowing like regionally what those influences are. But there is, I mean, if you think about the way garage is pronounced here versus how it's pronounced in London, and that is garage. Garage. It's car park. It's not your parking lot. So things like that, there are words or turns of phrase or colloquialisms that don't always get used. I think that's a thing. I think in my thoughts and experience, I think that's how, when you've got a writer who knows their stuff and is doing their research, when the correct terms are being used and the correct turns of phrase and colloquialisms are being used. Having someone write something where they've said it in London, but they're using the American phrases for things, have encountered, and you sit here and you're like, wait a second, that's not correct.
It's very, and I don't pretend to, so I'm lucky I get to get away with like this pseudo futuristic world.
Right,
so where
right.
there's this blend of language and whatnot. I mean, I would never, for myself personally, I don't feel that I don't know British English well enough that I would ever write in British English. I know some people that do, they're much more familiar with it than me, but I'm going to get the nuances wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to spell color with O-U-R, and I'm going to say, spell with things with an S instead of a Z. But, mostly I'm going to get it wrong. I'm going to say words because I don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know it well enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I could do, it's nice in my fake little sci-fi future world that I can just make my own rules around language.
Yep, that's fair.
Clever.
Is there anything you could add to that, Jack?
Yeah, well, it's an act of trust, really, because as narrators, we have less bandwidth to, like, kind of on the writing side of things, I definitely did a lot more research into things before I wrote them than I do as a narrator, because there is trust. We have to trust our authors. And you're building the car, we're just driving it. So but that being said, yeah, I mean, I'm cognizant of culture all the time. When you do a particular accent, you don't want to give offense. So if, let's say, for example, an accent is Polish, you don't want to move further towards Eastern Europe or Russia than that. Because it's like, but like, how do you get that across? And then you go to like the narrator Tess Irondale, who is a terrific craftswoman in the narrator field. She's guided me towards particular resources that I've been able to make use of. Like, I actually have it up here. It's called International Dialects of English Archive IDEA, and it's an that's a useful tool. Also. Rebecca, do you ever type into like Google or YouTube exactly what does this accent sound like, and are met with just the worst results possible?
Yes. Oh my God.
Not helpful.
No, not at all.
Good for a laugh. Good to lighten the mood for a moment, huh?
Yeah, 100%. We have to be cognizant of culture, but it is also a definite act of trust that the writer has done their due diligence.
Mm-hmm.
So have either of you ever had a time reading something from a book that you're like, okay, the author got this one wrong. And like,
Oh, I'm
and,
sure.
and if that's the case, what, if any, obligation do you feel as somebody who's presenting this to maybe call it out to the author? And if there was something that you didn't call out to me, I will be I'll be re-releasing like the special editions next year. So make sure you let me know before then. Because
No, Jerry, you're terrific. There was there's nothing that I can think of from my fault at all. And here's one where I'm not calling someone out because I really love his work, and but I just duet narrated a Daniel Shinhofen romance, with Andrea Parsnow, and one of the scenes, he took out the mention of a cocktail called an Irish car bomb, right? And that's a reference to the IRA and to the troubles in Ireland, etc., etc. And there's an element of it's in an Irish bar, and they're kind of referencing it. And one of the characters says, because we'd never mentioned this cocktail's name in a bar. Irish people don't give a fuck. we don't give, sorry for swearing, we don't give a damn. You can, like, it would be a rare Irish person that would go, oh, how dare you. So I was like, I messaged Daniel and I was like, or I mentioned this to Daniel at dinner or something like that. And I was like, we don't really mind, to be honest. It's okay. Thank you for being sensitive to that. Again, a point of praise for Daniel. He's a very sensitive fellow. But I was like, that's not a thing.
Nobody cares.
Yeah. What about you?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to think. I don't know that I'm sure I've come across it, but I'm trying to think and failing at this point of like a specific moment where that happened.
Or anything that was egregious enough that it mattered, maybe. So maybe it wouldn't. And I do think that, and being on this side of the sea, I think that we are probably overly sensitive a lot of times culturally about the way that we're saying something versus just saying it. And that's just based in my own experiences of the places that I've been, but maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. Like I said, we had somebody who talked to us about cultural sensitivity earlier on today, and it matters, but also like, I do sometimes think that we overthink it.
I overthink everything. I overthink overthinking, so I don't.
Yeah.
Am I overthinking right now?
Definitely. The answer is always yes.
Well, and here's a fun one. Did you know that the phrase Native American was a phrase used by white people to try and kind of proselytize a particular thing, whereas apparently American Indian is the preferred thing amongst many tribes?
Huh. So my son-in-law is Hidatsa, which is a native tribe out of North Dakota, and I there's like an Indigenous Nationals are a very big piece. They're one of the factions that come alive in the fourth book, and he's gonna have to like make sure that I'm there. I will do the cultural sensitivity read, and I'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? And
how cool and fun to not only have that connection, but to have somebody there to be able to like speak directly to how to do this in an honorable and respectful way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of blessed that way. I have what I call them my rainbow family, because I have one daughter who's married to a Panamanian and one daughter who's married to a Japanese American native. And I have, then my son is definitely as European as they come, but he's got a daughter named Rainbow. So it works.
Oh, that's charming.
So it's my perfect little rainbow family that I've always wanted. And that's kind of, I know that sounds silly, but I believe, like, I'm such an idiot. I know it's so idealistic, especially in today's world, but I'm like, why can't we all just get along?
Okay, but isn't that like the big threat of sci-fi? Isn't that
That's right.
The driving, like that's Star Trek. That's all of it.
Yes.
Everything is, how do we get along and why can't we?
Yeah.
Why can't
100%.
we all appreciate and encourage and enrich with all of the diversity?
Yeah. Well, Jack, you have totally enriched this hour and change that you've been with us, but we actually got to get onto your Instagram.
Oh my gosh,
now.
yes.
Okay. Rebecca,
So it's late by
you.
Yes.
not at all. Rebecca, pleasure as always. And Jerry, what a pleasure to meet you at last.
Yes, same. And thank you so much
Yes,
for
thank
bringing
you.
life to so many of the voices of this script.
It was my genuine pleasure.
All right.
Awesome.
Have a great evening
Have a
for
great
you.
evening.
Bye-bye.
See you.
Have a good one, gang. See you soon. Bye.